Have you ever been absolutely certain a woman was interested in you only to hesitate, wait too long, and then watch her drift towards someone else? Someone who, on paper, had nothing more to offer than you did? Maybe less. And the worst part isn't losing her. The worst part is not knowing why. You replay every conversation, every glance, every smile she gave you that felt like a signal, and you still can't figure out where it went wrong. I've talked to thousands of men in that exact position, smart men, good men, men with real things to offer, and almost every single one of them made the same mistake. Not because they were unattractive, not because they said the wrong thing, but because they were reading the wrong signals entirely. They were waiting for obvious, and attraction, real female attraction, is almost never obvious. I'm your host, and this is Teal Swan Advice, where we uncover the real psychology that creates desire. Today, we're going deep into something most men never learn: 8 subtle signs a woman secretly desires you, and the psychological reasons behind each one. And I'll warn you now, the final one is incredibly powerful. It can change everything fast, and almost no one uses it correctly. So stay with me. Let's start with the truth nobody told you. The way men feel attraction and the way women feel attraction are processed completely differently. Men are largely visual and immediate. You see, you feel, you know. Women are layered, emotional, contextual. A woman can be physically attracted to you and still feel nothing deep enough to act on. Or she can feel a pull toward a she's never even considered conventionally attractive, because something about the way he carries himself rewired her nervous system. That's not a mystery. That's biology. This was never your fault. Nobody taught you this. The education system didn't cover it. Your father probably wasn't taught it either. Popular culture gave you the wrong map entirely. Hollywood told you to grand gesture your way into her heart. Social media told you to look good enough and wait. Neither of those things work consistently, because neither of them address what actually moves a woman emotionally toward a man. Evolutionary psychology has studied this for decades. Women are wired deep in their subconscious to scan for specific signals. Not wealth, not height, not the car you drive. Those are surface filters. What the female brain is actually scanning for beneath all the small talk and social performance is emotional safety, masculine groundedness, and unpredictable reward. When those 3 things are present, desire activates almost automatically. When they're absent, no amount of attention or affection can manufacture it. Once you understand the hidden signals, everything changes. You stop chasing. You stop performing. You stop trying to convince her. And you start becoming the kind of man her nervous system is already looking for. Let's get into it. The first signal to understand isn't something she does. It's something you carry: masculine presence, grounded energy. When a woman is secretly drawn to you, she will unconsciously position herself near you. She'll find reasons to be in the same space. She'll laugh a little louder when you're watching. None of that is a performance she's consciously directing. It's her nervous system pulling her body toward a source of calm, grounded energy. She might not even know she's doing it, but her subconscious does. Here's the deeper layer. Presence isn't about silence or seriousness. It's about being fully in the room, not glancing at your phone, not scanning who else is around, not rehearsing your next sentence while she's still talking. When you are genuinely, calmly, completely present with a woman, her brain registers it as safety. And safety is the foundation of desire. It's not romantic. It's neurological. You don't have to be the loudest man in the room. You have to be the most grounded one. That energy is magnetic. It draws people in without asking them to come closer. The second signal is emotional challenge, polarity, the gentle, playful tension that lets her know you're interested, but not available at any cost. When a woman is attracted to you and not just being polite, she will test you, not maliciously, instinctively. She'll push back on something small. She'll tease you lightly. She'll say something borderline just to see how you respond. And here's where most men fail. They soften. They over-explain. They try to reassure her that they're safe, agreeable, no threat at all. That approach kills attraction instantly. What she's actually scanning for is emotional solidity. Can you hold your ground with a smile? Can you match her energy without collapsing or escalating? When you respond to her challenge with warmth and a little playful fire, when you tease back without flinching, her attraction spikes. Because you've just demonstrated something rare, you can't be rattled. You're not desperate for her approval. That's polarity, and polarity is the voltage that makes desire possible. Don't agree with everything she says. Don't rush to smooth over every edge. Let the tension breathe. She likes it more than she'll ever admit. The third signal is about your attention, how you give it, and more importantly, how you don't. A woman who secretly desires you will notice exactly when your attention is elsewhere. She'll track it. She'll become more animated, more engaged when she feels like she might be losing it. That's not manipulation on her part. That's the scarcity principle working exactly as evolution designed it. What is freely available is not perceived as valuable. What requires a little effort, a little uncertainty, becomes something worth pursuing. If this is making sense so far, hit subscribe and join the Teal Swan Advice community. It helps more men learn what they were never taught. This is why men who have full, purposeful lives, men with friends, passions, goals, and genuine investments outside of any one woman, consistently attract more desire than men who are immediately, completely available. It's not about playing games. It's about actually having a life worth living that doesn't pause the moment a woman walks into it. Selective attention. Be interested, be warm, be engaging, and then go live your life. That contrast does more work than any line you could ever deliver. The fourth signal is one of the most underestimated tools you have. Intentional listening. Here's what most men do when they're attracted to a woman. They perform, they talk, they impress, they take up space with their energy and their stories. And she smiles politely and feels absolutely nothing deep. Here's what a man who creates real desire does. He listens like she's the most interesting person in the room. Not performing attention, actually present. And then, days later, he references something small she mentioned once, almost in passing. Her sister's name, the city she wants to visit, the way she described a difficult moment. When you remember the small things, her nervous system receives a message that bypasses logic entirely. It says, I was seen, not admired from a distance, actually seen. That feeling is rare, it's powerful, and it binds her attention to you in ways she can't quite explain to herself. The fifth signal is calibrated vulnerability. This one is subtle, and it requires precision. There is a version of vulnerability that repels: oversharing too early, emotional dumping, confessing feelings or fears before she's had time to want to know them. That version reads as instability. It signals that you need her to manage your emotional world, and it creates distance, not closeness. Then there's calibrated vulnerability, and this is entirely different. You share something real, something that shows you're human, that you've been through things, that you've learned and grown, but you deliver it from a place of strength, not need. You're not looking for her to fix it. You're letting her see a layer of you that most people don't get access to. That distinction, strength wrapped around honesty, is deeply attractive to women. She doesn't want a man without wounds. She wants a man who carries his wounds without letting them bleed on everyone around him. Share real things. Just do it from high ground. The sixth signal connects directly to oxytocin, the bonding hormone, and how it's triggered through gradual, respectful physical contact. When a woman is attracted to you, she'll respond to touch in a very specific way. She won't pull back. She'll hold the contact a beat longer than necessary. She'll find small reasons to close the distance. A hand on the arm, a shoulder that leans in. She's not doing this randomly. Her body is responding to physical proximity because her attraction is already present and looking for confirmation. Your role in this is to be intentional and calibrated. Light, respectful, natural contact. A brief touch on the hand when you make a point. Standing close enough that the possibility exists. Never reaching, never grasping. Never making her feel like the contact is about you, rather than the moment between you. Oxytocin is released through appropriate touch, and once it's in her system, bonding begins. You don't need intensity, you need consistency. You don't need aggression, you need presence. Small moments of physical contact done right Build something she starts to crave before she even names it. Always read the response. She'll tell you without words whether to continue or pull back. Listen to that. The seventh signal is about her attention loop. The way she returns to you without being pulled back. When a woman is secretly drawn to you, she will create reasons to re-engage. She'll text something small that didn't really need a response. She'll bring up a topic you mentioned 2 conversations ago. She'll reference an inside moment between the two of you when there's no practical reason to. She's doing this because you've created a pull and she's following it. Your job is to reinforce it without over-answering it. Respond warmly, stay a little mysterious. Don't give her the entire map. Leave a door open and let her choose to walk through it. That rhythm, engagement, and slight retreat keeps her attention calibrated toward you in a way that feels to her like genuine interest rather than manufactured strategy. Because here's the thing, at this level, it isn't a strategy anymore. It's just how emotionally healthy, grounded men actually operate. They're not available at every moment. They don't over-explain or over-pursue. They hold their own weight and let the connection breathe. That's not a technique. That's character. And now the eighth signal, the one I warned you about at the beginning, controlled unpredictability. This is the deepest pull in human attraction psychology. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter that drives pursuit and craving, isn't triggered by reward. It's triggered by the possibility of reward, the uncertainty, the beautiful, maddening, not quite knowing. When every interaction with you is predictable, when she always knows exactly how you'll respond, exactly how available you are, exactly how you feel, the dopamine loop flatlines. She might like you, but she won't crave you. When you are occasionally unpredictable, not cold, not distant, not cruel, but genuinely mysterious in small, calibrated ways, her dopamine system activates. She finds herself thinking about you between conversations, replaying what you said, wondering what you meant. That wondering is not confusion. That's desire in its earliest, most powerful form. The men who create this naturally aren't playing games. They're men with depth, with purpose, with emotional range that doesn't fully reveal itself all at once. They have layers, and she senses that there's more to discover. That sense of incompleteness, in the best way, keeps her oriented towards you like a compass finding north. Be a little surprising. Change your pace occasionally. Share something unexpected. Don't always give the answer she's waiting for. Not to manipulate, but because a fully dimensional man is genuinely unpredictable. Because he has a rich interior life that isn't all laid out for inspection. That's what she's responding to. Not the performance of mystery, the actual substance of a man who hasn't given everything away in the first 3 conversations. Here's where I want to bring it all together for you. These 8 signals, presence, emotional challenge, selective attention, intentional listening, calibrated vulnerability, gradual touch, attention loops, and controlled unpredictability, are not tricks. They're not a script to memorize. They're a map of how desire actually forms in the female nervous system. And now that you have the map, you stop wandering. You stop guessing. You stop waiting for obvious signals that were never going to come. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be strategic. You don't need to change who you are. You need to understand how attraction actually works and align your natural self with those deep patterns. That's not manipulation. That's intelligence applied to connection. The version of you that walks away from this video is already different from the version that started it. You've just been handed something most men never receive: a real framework, real tools, and the understanding that the reason things didn't work before wasn't a flaw in you. It was a gap in your knowledge. That gap is closed now. Use these with respect. Use them with intention. Not to win a competition, but to build something real with a woman who deserves your full, grounded, aware presence. That's what attraction at this level actually is. Not a chase, not a performance. 2 people's nervous systems recognizing something genuine in each other. You've just learned how to be unmistakably recognizable. If you're ready to stop chasing and start becoming the man women genuinely desire, subscribe to Teal Swan Advice now. Turn on notifications because the next one will shift your reality again.